Today we're making Polpette de Pane, which pretty much is a meatless meatball. It's an old school classic and it's so easy to make. Let me show you. So now we're going to add a teaspoon of baking soda. Now this is going to help the polpette like puff up when they're cooking, and that's what you want. So now you're just going to get in there with your hands and mix it up. And you should smell all of your ingredients, the garlic, the cheese. So we have this all mixed. Now we're going to let it rest for like 20 minutes because some areas are nice and moist. Some areas are a little bit more drier because remember you're using day-old bread here. And so letting it sit for 20 minutes is going to moisten the whole thing. You're going to cover it, and then if it ends up being too wet, you could add some plain breadcrumbs. If it's a little too dry, you could add more milk. So you could do it either way. So let this rest for about 20 minutes. So now this has been resting for 20 minutes, and now we're ready to fry them up. These you can make any size. I'm just doing like a heaping tablespoon size, and you just kind of roll it in between the spoons to get it like nice and round, but you could put them in any way you like. You just want both sides to get nice and golden, and then you're going to finish cooking this in the sauce. So I have them draining in a colander, and I'm just going to pile them up in here. So just grab a heaping tablespoon and then just like roll it like this, side to side. And that'll help bind it together. And then you just slide it off with a spoon or a fork, and then I just kind of push it down a little bit to have like a single layer. And that way it kind of cooks evenly too. And this is how you make polpette de Pane. It's a meatless meatball. They are delicious even to eat just like this. They're nice and golden brown on both sides, nice and tender. They're delicious. What I'm going to do is these I'm going to freeze. So I'm only going to make a few for tonight in sauce. That's how my dad loves eating them. But the rest, if you put it in a freezer bag, they stay very nicely. And then that way, next time you want it, you just take out the ones that you want, heat it through in sauce, maybe like a good half hour, 40 minutes. They're so tender. They're delicious. This is a delicious meal to make with leftover bread. Back then, they didn't have all this meat. So with leftover bread, you made a whole meal out of it. And you know what? It's a good one. So now that all the polpette are done and they're all browned, I'm going to get a little pot of sauce. So you're going to put a little sauce in the pot. And then we're going to throw in, I'm going to do like about 3 of these. So I'm going to do 2, put a little sauce. Another layer on top, so that way they don't like stick to each other when they're simmering. I'll throw the last one in. And then just top it off with a little sauce. As the polpette simmers in the sauce, it's going to puff up even more and get nice and tender. It's going to be delicious. And then you could just eat it in a bowl with some bread on the side. It's a delicious old school meal, and you don't even need any meat for it, and it's just as filling.